What's up guys, I'm Chase Brogan, and today in this video we are diving into the NYXI Flexi wireless gamepad controller right here. So in this video we're going to unbox this, we're going to take a look at the layout and design, then we're going to dive into some games and test out its performance. Now before we do that though, I want to highlight some of the key features. We have Hall effect joysticks built into this controller. I have to have Hall effect joysticks. For racing games, if you don't have those, you're going to be constantly back and forth, overcorrecting constantly. That's going to be able to pinpoint your exact navigation. So always have to have Hall effect joysticks on controllers. This also is compatible with PC as well as Steam and Nintendo Switch, so you can use this on a bunch of different devices, a bunch of different ways. We also have turbo and macro function support built into this. We have wireless. This is a wireless controller, so you're going to be able to use this without having that cable connection. And we're going to actually be looking for lag and delay here too, because when dealing with wireless controllers, of course, you have to worry about lag. So I'll be on the lookout for that, and I'll report back to you on what my experience is. But we also have a very strong battery life on here as well. In fact, we've got a built-in rechargeable battery here that easily lasts through long sessions. It has a USB-C cable connection, so you can plug this into a laptop. You can plug this into even a power outlet, and you're going to be able to charge this effectively. We even have LED lighting and customizations built right into this as well. So you can kind of pick what color lights up on here. You can create your own experience from this. And now another thing worth mentioning is obviously we know that the Nintendo Switch 2 has been released. Well, NYXI has planned for the Nintendo Switch 2, and they've launched a brand new accessory on their website that basically upgrades your experience to give you compatibility to the Nintendo Switch 2. So we're going to unbox this today. We're going to take a look at the layout and design. Let's dive into it. All right, guys, here's the box. Very nicely put together. We're going to go ahead and start opening this up. All right, so here's our controller right on top. Let's see what else is included in here. So we've got our accessories right in there, and we've got this little insert from the company. Take a look at this, which gives you some additional information. But let's take a look at what is included with our controller. So inside here, we've got our user manual. We also have different buttons that we can actually put in place on the controller itself. But let's take a look at the user manual real quick. So it walks through everything that should be included within. We've got our dongle right here. You can see that's included there. We've got our cable's right here. Walks through a diagram of all of the available options here on the controller. We also have instructions on how to actually install this and sync it up with different devices, and it is in a couple different languages here. So setting that aside, here is our dongle. This is how we're going to get that wireless connection. So we have a pairing button on here. The way that this works is this simply plugs into the PC or device of your choosing. You can plug this into a Switch. You can plug this into a PC. So we'll set that aside. Here's our charging cable. Of course, you could use this wired as well if you wanted to. USB-A to your device or power outlet. Type-C is going to go into the actual controller. But now let's go ahead and open up the controller. So very sleek design on here. So we're going to go ahead and remove that sticker off of here. So this is definitely a chunky controller. Feels very nice in my hands. A little bit thicker both up here as well as on the actual handles than your typical Xbox style controller. But triggers feel good. You can see that they kind of swoop upwards here. I'll try to get a good angle for you guys there. You can see how they go up right here. So definitely hinged triggers. Yeah, I think you have to get used to them. The sweet spot's definitely down there towards the highest point. So you'll notice here that as I pull right here, there's not much action. It's just not the greatest hinge action. So it works best if you're right there on the tip of this. Now, Type-C cable connection up here, that's where our charging cable is going to get plugged in. So Type-C plugs directly in like this. Now, the housing here is a little bit deep, so you kind of have to wrestle it in there, but it creates a secure connection as well. So if you are playing this while connected to the cable, you don't have to worry about this getting dislodged. I mean, you can see it's a very stable connection. So we have our L1, R1 buttons up here. Seem to be pretty consistent across the entire top. We also have 4-button configuration. Of course, we have the different buttons here that we could swap out if we wanted to. Buttons feel good. You can hear that a little bit clicky. I like a clicky button though. We have our turbo and macro buttons up here. We have our start, select, all that good stuff. We have our center button over here, which can double as function, but you can see that lit everything up. So that turned it on, just hitting that button right there. D-pad feels very good, also a little bit clicky. And then the Hall effect joysticks here are super smooth with the button function built in there, the L3 and R3. So love the way that this is lighting up. In fact, that color is exactly the color that I would want on here, but you can change the color, which is awesome. Backside here, we have our M1, M2, M3, and M4 buttons, easily located right on the inside there, so I can just effortlessly hit those with my middle fingers when playing games. I don't typically use those myself, to be perfectly honest, but if I did want to incorporate those into my gameplay experience, using it on like a racing game, for example, it is pretty easy to hit right there. So love the stability of this. This feels really good. We're going to go ahead and, oh, we have a reset button on the back, and we also have a light button on the back. So interesting. Oh, wow. Okay, cool. I didn't even realize that you could change the colors on here. So take a look. We got purple, we've got red, and it vibrates each time. You can see it vibrating as I hit this. But yeah, I mean, I love that first color there. We've got yellow. And we can also kind of make it rotate a little bit as well between different colors. So green, it looks pretty cool. But yeah, the blue is where it's at for me. I love the blue color on here. So very cool that you can customize your colors and all that, make the experience 100% your own. But it's time to go ahead and connect this over. I'm going to connect this over to my PC. We're going to play some games on here and test out how it looks, how it feels, and how it performs. All right, guys, we checked out the NYXI Flexi wireless controller today, and man, this is super comfortable. The aesthetic of here is incredible. I love the fact that we can easily change between those different color options on here, so you can kind of spice it up, make it your own experience. If you're giving this to a friend that doesn't like blue, they like green, hey, you've got that covered. So in terms of the connections here, we can connect over through Bluetooth, wired, and then of course 2.4G wireless through that dongle. So regardless of which way you connect, there's zero lag that I detected in my gameplay experience. And you saw what I was playing today. I played some fighting games. I played Fortnite on here. I also played Burnout on here, which is a great racing game, a great way to really test out the performance of your joysticks. And because we have Hall effect joysticks on here, I had a great experience gaming. So with that game, obviously you want to have near misses. You're trying to fuel your boost bar, and you want near misses. You want to make other players crash, but you don't want to crash yourself. You want to get close to crashing because driving erratic powers that boost. But with this, I was able to do exactly that. I wasn't crashing out until the very end, but I was able to get all those boosts, stay in the lead throughout the game, and that's all because of these Hall effect joysticks. When you don't have Hall effect joysticks, what ends up happening is you're just all over the road. You don't have that true feel of where you're navigating to. With these, you're very much precise. Now, another thing I really like is the triggers on here. The triggers, I was a little bit skeptical of. I was a little bit concerned because they do have a sweet spot, and you want to be close to the edge there, but naturally, that's right where your fingers automatically go. I was a little concerned because if you have them up top here, the range of motion is a little bit limited. It just feels a little wonky. But if you're at the edge where you're intended to have your fingers placed and where you naturally do have your fingers placed, it feels very good, very easy to engage those in gameplay. So great experience here. I love also the fact that this works with Switch, Steam, as well as PC. So you have different options for connectivity and compatibility here. So regardless of, like for me, an example would be I play on Switch, but I mainly play on PC and Steam. I don't have to worry about, getting a different controller if I want to go over to Steam, or if I want to play Fortnite, or if I want to play retro gaming through RetroBat like I did today. This works with everything effortlessly. So really cool to be able to use this. Now, I don't use the M1, M2, M3, or M4 much, but they do work very well on the backside. I played around with them a little bit. It's just not, I guess because I like retro gaming and we didn't have those back then. It's just a little unnatural for me, but for those that really like that, it's great to be able to just simply squeeze your middle fingers in there and engage those extra buttons. So great experience. Now, price point at the time of this recording, prices do fluctuate, bear in mind, but you're looking at about $45 for this controller. I think that's a great price point. It's reliable, it's universal. You can use this with different platforms and devices, and it looks great while you're playing. So it checks all the boxes for me. To learn a little bit more about this product or what else NYXI has to offer, click the link in the description of this video. That is going to do it for today, guys. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the content today, please give me a thumbs up on the video, and of course, hit subscribe to stay in the loop for all future videos right here on the Chase Brogan YouTube channel.